The baby is clinically dead.
Mouse performs CPR on the girl's tiny body.
By the time I got to her, she was blue.
So we've got everyone looking.
Worst case scenario is that baby's on the bottom of the ocean. It was squarely my fault.
I was ready to get in the water and, if I had to, go and retrieve a body.
Whippet gets an emergency call.
There's someone missing down at Bondi. You know, the helicopter's on the way, the cops are on their way. Living close to the beach, I thought it was just my duty to kind of come back down and check what was going on. Having been here all day and sitting on the rips and knowing where the water was moving, I knew I'd be an asset to the cops or the ambos.
When Whippet gets back to the beach, a major search is underway.
When I arrived, you know, you're always going to expect to see some lights and sirens and stuff, but there was the full artillery out there.
A man has been missing for more than 2 hours. He was last seen in the water. He's travelled from Vietnam with his wife to visit his son and daughter. It's his first time at Bondi. Whippet's assessment is grim.
After looking at his clothes on the ground, no one's going to leave the beach without their stuff intentionally, and they're sitting right in front of the worst rip. I was ready to get in the water and, if I had to, go and retrieve a body.
I mean, yes, it could drift. But rips can take fast. But there's not many rips at the moment that are going outwards. They're all kind of going across.
Knowing how the water was moving, I was helping guide the helicopter around the bay, saying this is how I think the water would move, and if it was a floating body, then where it potentially might be.
The man's wife and daughter helped police circulate a description. Off-duty lifeguard Mitch also joins the search.
I relayed the description through the radio up to Mitch so he can put the binoculars out and see if, you know, the rips can take people all over this beach and see if he was anywhere else.
Asian with chubby build, with sort of knee-length black.
The man's clothes remain untouched in front of Bondi's worst rip. Daylight and hope are rapidly fading.
When you think you've lost someone for that long, you're probably going to find a body, and for their family, that would have been so traumatic. It all started to point towards a bad outcome.
Missing man Gwyn Vun Hein doesn't speak English, but his daughter, Ty, does. Whippet comes up with a plan.
I said, go up and use our PA system and try and speak to him in Vietnamese.
Nguyễn Văn Hành, nếu con đang ở trên biển, hãy đến, hãy lên bờ và đến gần tòa nhà Lifeguard.
Ty's father, Gwyn, has now been missing for almost 3 hours. As light fades, the search may soon be called off.
I was on the beach, you know, obviously hoping not to have to paddle out and retrieve a body, but kind of ready to go. And then the next call that came through the police radio was, oh, we haven't seen a person, but there's a good size 12-foot so shark in the boot. It was literally just off the berg. So obviously my concerns were high. You never want to think that someone's gone until you find them. So yeah, it was stressful. Mitch radioed me and said, mate, someone's come to the tower. I said, I'm not taking the family up in case it's not him. They'll be devastated. you've got to be very careful with the family not to give them hope that isn't warranted. And I've raced up in the buggy and this guy had a singlet on. He had no shirt on in the photo, so maybe it's not him. We've got him, it's going to be all good. I knew we had him and, you know, your heart rate drops instantly and it's like a big weight off your shoulders. It's a huge relief when it works out for the best.
Hi guys, this is North. We've got a lost child, 8 years old. It's a girl. She's got a two-piece blue bikini on, and she was last seen in the water.
100% there's no kid being sucked out here, because I've been here. She's in the shallows looking for her.
The beach is so crowded. For a small kid, you get disorientated really easily. Before they know it, they're lost.
And then this lady came up to me who was just swimming the bay.
We looked out there, and there was a girl holding a hand up, and she kept going under the wave, so I was kind of like closing out on her.
Oh, thank you. Well, I guess before that stage, I wasn't even thinking the kid was in the water. When that lady came up to me who didn't know what was going on and actually said that to me, that made me think maybe I did miss the kid.
This is North. Can I just have the jet ski up here pretty much quickly? On my way. I'm at backpack.
I'm trying, just scanning the shore, hoping that just see a sad little face wandering around looking for a mum.
I had a lady come up to me and say to me that she was out the back in this hole. Yeah. She saw a little girl waving her hands up and down, and then she disappeared. What do I do? What do you do?
Oh, I don't know. Was she the mum?
Nah, but no one else saw it.
I'd say that if the mum came up panicking, that'd be worse.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find the mum down here. And
I'll let you know.
so we've got everyone looking. It's okay.
I'm going to hang down here for a bit of noise, guys.
They just come with me.
Mum was having a breakdown. She was screaming. She wasn't making much sense. And I started stressing out.
Having a hysterical parent just adamant that their child was in the water and had drowned, you know, obviously you're gonna be starting to freak out a little bit.
Come with me, come with me.
If anything happened, it was squarely my fault. No one else's. Because I was watching. It's the flagged area, so that just triples the guilt that you feel.
Still haven't found this kid, eh? Starting to worry. It's okay. Come with me.
Worst case scenario is that baby's on the bottom of the ocean. And the worst thing about my job is it's a realisation it can actually happen.
Hi everyone down here, look, we've got a lost child. She's been missing for about half an hour. She's 8 years old and she has a blue two-piece bikini on.
Mum's getting pretty frantic, so with Beardy's just walked down now. He's being a champ and staying back and trying to help us out a bit.
And it was a blue bikini, one piece or two piece?
Two pieces.
And what was her name? Alicia. Okay.
An 8-year-old child, in those conditions, if they fall into the rip, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
And I'm going to stay close to the mummy. They're just going to go back where their towel and stuff are, and I'll have a good search up the beach. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yatesy was pretty much pulling his hair out down there. He was just ready to strip off and start basically looking for a body.
Chapper, I'm going to come out. I'll meet you out there.
And what was the swimming ability? I'll get to that in a minute, mate. I just didn't really want to upset her more than she already is.
The longer and longer it went on and we hadn't found this little girl, I know all of us were starting to think she could be in the ocean. She might have gone under.
Yeah, skunk, I reckon there's a lot of people around here, and for her not to pop up yet, I'm thinking if we can't do something in the next 10 minutes, we'll call the cops. All good, boys. Stand down. Pretty sure we've got her. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. That's all.
I got it.
Excellent.
It's affirmative. The girl has found her way back to their gear. So all good, boys. That was a good effort by all them.
Yeah, it was one of the most anxious and stressful times I've had down here in over 10 years.
Mouse performs CPR on the girl's tiny body.
By the time I got to her, she was blue, not breathing.
Freelance photographer Fergus Woolridge shoots images of everyday life at the beach. He's about to witness one of the most confronting rescues lifeguards have ever conducted. Suddenly, there's a radio call to the Bondi Tower. A 2-year-old girl has drowned at Bronte.
They're doing CPR, 2-year-old. Get down there. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Did you get that? Yeah, copy, Harries. We've got an ambulance way now, mate.
2-year-old.
Do we need someone over there?
What's the 2-year-old doing in the water? Oh, mate, someone's...
Hey, I'll go, all right? You want to go?
The reporter I was with called me back, and I came running back down. She's like, "Oh, something's going on, you know, in the water."
There was a little blob, like, swimming out. And then, so I turned around and everyone was sort of looking. And I said, any strong swimmers? Go.
I've noticed all the other boys running around like crazy, and so something bad had happened.
And I heard the mum screaming, Noah.
Which was until I grabbed my board and I just seen just a tiny little body just behind the breakers. It turned out to be a little girl. Just as I saw her, she was trying, still going for it, up and down, head bobbing under the water. But not long after that, she just sort of flattened out and was underwater. And she was just like 5 or 6 metres from me underwater. It was heavy. By the time I got to her, she was blue, not breathing.
The distraught mother is on the shore. Mouse performs CPR on the girl's tiny body.
She just went from being blue and doing nothing to a little cough and a little like eye flicker, and then she started crying, and then Sammy started crying, and then we just had like a little hug, and then we had to get her in.
Meanwhile, the girl's father is also rescued. He was close to drowning himself.
Great life. She awake?
Yeah, make sure she's awake. Keep her awake, okay? Yeah, okay. Let's keep walking up to the car. Where's your husband? Because someone should be probably looking at him because he's taking some water too.
The tiny girl's name is Noah Kim. Her family are on holidays from Korea. Father June was underwater when he was rescued.
Your daughter should be okay? So, but you need to make sure someone looks at you and listens to your chest.
How long was she unconscious?
Mate, who knows? You know, maybe 3 to 3 minutes.
That was insane. I'm paddling out, I can see her body in the water, just her body, and I got hit by a wave, lost my board, and she's like 5 metres from me.
Mate, and
then H-Man just threw me his board, and I was just yelling at these surfers.
And then once she came good and she vomited and that, we knew she was okay. I've turned around, the other surfers, the local Bronte guys, just had this other guy just holding him up. He was just like out as well, and I was just thinking, what's gone on here, you know?
Noah will spend 2 days in intensive care at Sydney Children's Hospital.
He's trying to set me up while he's walking.
He was the one with the drugs, not me.
Tom investigates a disturbing report from a parent.
Then he took his jeans off and something fell out of the back pocket, right? And then he put his jeans down and he went into the water.
Yeah.
When he went into the water, I thought, I'll go over and I'll see what it is. And it was a syringe in a packet. I thought if there was one in a packet, he might have used ones on him.
Definitely.
So it could be very...
Definitely. If that slips
lethal.
out and gets in the sand and then, you know, some poor kid steps on it.
Yeah.
It's now a police matter. Thaney calls in a local patrol.
Someone can send someone down pretty urgent.
It's in right there in the purple shorts. Okay, you're walking with us, mate. These all bent. Just stand over against the wall, please.
The search reveals what appears to be a bag of marijuana.
Mate, at this stage you're under arrest for the possession of prohibited drugs. Are they yours? They were in your pants, mate.
Yeah, well, I was in the water.
Okay, mate, at this point you don't have to start doing anything. You understand that? Anything you say do can be used in the evidence. You understand that?
Fair enough, if I had it on me, you can accuse me, but when I'm in the water and my stuff's there, you can't just go accusing people, you know. That could be anyone's. I just came out for a swim for the day, that's all I've done. I'm stressing out because I was in the water and, you know, I just came out and bang.
Mate, you've got any syringes on you?
No. Can I at least get one of them smokes, please?
You're under arrest at the moment.
Yeah, I know. And them drugs aren't mine, mate. I was 100 miles here up the water and I get set up, man, accused. All I done was walk in.
Mate, stand over against
See
the wall.
what I mean? What do you expect me to do? Sit and have a laugh and a giggle and be happy? You know what I mean? It's not my stuff, mate. It's not my stuff.
You know, hopefully this all gets sorted out. We do have a couple of hot spots around Bondi Beach and, you know, you are going to get people who do dabble in that kind of stuff and they are going to come down here and you're going to get situations like this.
What does he get back,
Then his mate asks police to retrieve $100 he says the man owes him.
Before they take out, I'm breaking. Yeah, I don't want you. No, I don't owe you $100. Smash you, I get accused, and he walks. You're a dog. I'm gonna cave your head. I've been done for murder, mate. I've been done for murder, and I'm gonna kill you.
I kind of saw that in my head, going a little bit differently than that.
He tried to set me up, why so walking? He was the one with the drugs, not me. You saw him sitting there, mate. You saw him. He was sitting with my stuff. Was I sitting there?
Watch your head, watch your head. Focus on.
Can I see what I mean? He was sitting with my personal belongings, right? I'm in the water. I walk out. 2 constables walk up. They say, mate, we believe you've got drugs. Can we search your stuff? I said, yes, mate. Get up.
Stop swearing.
Well, that was different. It's something you don't see every day.
The man was charged with possession of illegal substances. He was later sentenced to 4 months in jail.
The baby is clinically dead.
His father can only watch on.
Across the railing, a guy screams out and says, Harries, there's a baby dead up on the road.
Hey boys, can someone back me up? There's a baby currently not breathing over here in the car park.
Where?
Harries has grabbed a defibrillator and oxygen kit.
When I'm running up, the guy says the baby's just been laying there for a fair while. So, you know, I'm just trying to stay calm at this stage. I'm just trying to take deep breaths. If it is a baby, this is the most important thing ever. Survival of life for a child surpasses anything I've ever done in my career.
You know it's serious because there's bystanders in the park just pointing that way, that way.
Where are we going?
You know, you're preparing for the worst.
And all of a sudden, I see this baby just on the road. The baby showed no signs of life. It was not breathing.
The baby has reportedly fallen on its head from a height, but it's unclear how. The patient is an 8-week-old boy.
At this stage, the baby is clinically dead.
His father can only watch on.
The father was literally on top of me, and to be a father and look up at him and to see water coming out of his eyes, you know, a dad to a dad, you just want to give it your all.
The baby's mother is unable to watch. Resuscitating a tiny baby presents major challenges.
We go to pull the defib out and I see a baby that is so small that it stops me instantly.
Lifeguards must urgently administer manual CPR.
I did have an obstacle that there was a head trauma and a hip trauma that I just had to get breaths into that baby. Generally, I would have picked the baby up and gone for it.
Lifeguards decide to ventilate the baby with a bag mask and oxygen.
Harries was in there to quickly adapt our oxy kit down to an infant size. We've only ever done that in training.
There's no time to think, it's just do. I knew that I had to get breaths back into that baby. All those rescues that I've done, nearly 6,000 rescues, over 70 resuscitations on these beaches of people that have been clinically dead. It comes down to this one moment. After the third breath of breathing that baby up, I started to see the rise and fall of the baby's chest. Oh my God, this is working, this is effective what I'm doing. Giving these rescue breaths to the baby, but it's not out of the woods, it still had a massive trauma.
2 critical minutes of care has brought the baby back to life when the paramedics arrive. The baby still needs assistance to breathe.
The worst thing about with a baby is you want to hear them cry. You know, it's actually concerning when there's no noise. We still didn't have that baby responding at that stage.
After around the 8th, 9th breath, I hear the baby cry. To hear this baby scream was just the greatest moment ever.
It was a miracle, really. It was a New Year's Day miracle, you know, and far out. Yeah, that's 10 New Year's Days down here, but I tell you what, that's one I'll never forget.
To see the look on Harrison's face and to see the look on Beardy's face, this was real, this was raw, this is rare. It doesn't matter if you're a battle-hardened soldier. It's going to affect you. You've got to bring out your A game. It's going to test you to your core. And there's so much going through my mind. Of course, like my 2 boys, like my world. And then there's a lot more that affects me. That I lost my father like 6 months ago. And all of a sudden, like, I've got this baby, I've lost someone that's elderly, and I've got this baby in front of me. And I'm thinking, I've lost my father, but here's my chance to have an infant, to give this child a new life. Everything was that moment.
But the baby may not be out of danger yet. A special casualty access team, known as SCAT, arrives to help assess any head trauma.
And incredible seeing that chopper come in and just landed straight away on the golf course. On the toll chopper as well, they've actually got a doctor. All hands are on deck for this incident.
Intensive care paramedics hand it over to the SCAT team and they treat the baby.
They loaded the little boy straight in to get him straight to the kids' hospital.
Not long after, lifeguards get news the baby is likely to pull through without major complications.
So sorry. Well,
that was for me the greatest moment in my career.